What if I told you that Alraune was the previous Madama Butterfly? How are we going today, everyone? My name is Rakun. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. You remember Alraune, that horny demoness that sucked up John's soul for more power and then turned into that lizard-like plant, which then was also a flower and then turned into a whip? No, my bae! Get your hands off my wife! Yeah. I did. Now, just a disclaimer, I am going to be talking about a little bit of history that may or may not be disturbing to some audiences, so please watch at your own risk. Then again, I am probably performing in front of a fandom that has read a lot of lewd fanfics, which is fine. Regardless, read whatever you want, but if you see a disclaimer up above, there might be some disturbing scenes and a little bit of history that may be disturbing to some, so you have been warned. Now, I believe her character is appropriated of the legend and novel Alraune by Hans Heinz Ewers, published in 1911. I hope I pronounced that right. Basically, Alraune is the forced bred daughter of a prostitute where a scientist impregnates her with the sperm of a hung murderer. The scientist was interested in the laws of heredity and believed that the daughter will have no concept of love. Okay, so that was full on, so let's get back to the game. In Leamington's guidebook, she was previously a woman who was born into a royal family, or a noblewoman as per se. But when her lover left her, she doused herself in Mandrake poison, a certain flower. She is then reincarnated in Inferno, where she douses other souls so that they can become her quote-unquote lovers. Since it's an appropriation of a 1900s novel, I do believe that Alma was her human name in the Bayonetta universe. According to Richard Oswald's Alraune and the original book itself, Alma was the name of her mother. It would make sense if it was appropriated in the Bayonetta universe because biblically it means young woman, nourishment, or a woman that feeds the soul. But ironically, she's the one who feeds on the souls. But what I love about the character is this part of her entry. Insatiable desire and obsession have painted her heart so thickly that she will never know peace. Not even with the sacrifice of 1,000 souls or 1,000,000. Essentially giving her the worst kind of punishment because biblically it is a sin to suicide, and giving her the inability to feel loved for all of eternity is quite a sad yet fitting divine sensation that you can give her. And it's also alluding to what it's based on, the novel. And to be honest, she must have been very, very emotionally hurt from this, that she chose to suffer for this suicide. Now that you have this in mind, I want to give you two possibilities as to why she had a burning desire to kill and make Madama Butterfly suffer. Now, before I move forward, revenge coupled with suffering and pain is usually from an emotional standpoint rather than a standpoint of practicality in psychology. The first theory is based off her desire to suffer for her ex-lover. So the reason why she would hate Madama Butterfly so much is potentially that Madama Butterfly could have been the one who lured or tempted her husband, either by possessing another woman or possessing the husband himself. The amount of hatred in order to do that is quite believable. When you've loved someone for so long, only to have them betray you in the end, you tend to think that you're the problem. Eventually, you are. But you learn. Unfortunately for Alraune, that's not what things concluded to. The reason I say this is because she is cursed to do the same thing. She douses people in her own special poison, whatever that means, to become her lovers. I call this the envy route, since she potentially could have been so envious of that woman it drove her into a horrific suicide. Or we can go to the pride route. Let me explain. I also theorized that she was reincarnated in Inferno and she was on the path to becoming a Madama. Essentially, I believe she was the first Madama Butterfly, but she was never ever able to make an Umbran contract because of her curse. Never to be loved. Hashtag friendzoned. I still believe that the Madama symbol is an unwritten rank in Inferno where any demon in Inferno could become a Madama or a legendary knight based on their strength, not necessarily when they make a contract with a human. Other proofs that support that she was a former Madama is her looks. Just look at the build similarity compared to other Madamas. She has an expanded head, her dress, the golden crown near her eyes, or maybe those are her eyes, and her rose-like flower on her collarbone and in her bulb, as if she was imitating a Madama. Now, I theorized that she was beaten and humiliated by Madama Butterfly, and probably even teased her that she will never find true love. They tend to do this to characters or with rivalries that have backstories of regret, or pain, or even betrayal. Basically, upon meeting her with Bayonetta, she wanted her to suffer in her own hands. And again, this can be psychological proof of emotional betrayal. Madama Butterfly and Bayonetta essentially have the same amount of sassiness, so humiliating her would be a fitting way to dethrone her. I keep thinking of deflowering her for some reason. I have such a twisted mind, I'm sorry. Alraune is a fallen Madama who reigns a portion of Inferno, abducting souls into a false sense of love for all eternity. Ironically, she was saved from her eternal curse by Radahn, who weaponized her into Alruna, a weapon for Bayonetta. I guess you can say she was whipped into place? Anyone? please. Finally having the feeling of being used by someone. Kinda dark, but hey, everyone has their kinks. But my main conclusion for Alraune and her character's message is that she is the embodiment of humanity's insatiable envy and desire for love, which essentially looks corrupted or abnormal, monstrous, when you put it into physical form, Alraune. But to be honest, I still believe she's beautiful. So guys, the envy route or the pride route? Personally, I believe in the pride route because it is a bit more shonen-y, while the other one is a bit more bish-shonen-y. And I love the idea of two Madama Butterflies having a rivalry for 1,000 years. And of course, I do believe that Bayonetta 3 will show Madama Butterfly versus Alraune in a flashback or even a time travel scene, who knows. Now, season 1 of Bayonetta 3 Theories is finally finished, you guys. I do want to say that this was meant to be a 6-part series, but the reaction I got from it was so awesome I had to continue it. I'm excited to say that Bayonetta 3 Theories season 2 is confirmed, and I've got the starting 6 episodes coming your way. And I believe that I've cracked this code. I cracked this code. Trust me on this. This is going to be an epic conclusion into Bayonetta 3. This is going to be even crazier than season 1, I believe, and I'm not just saying that as a marketing tactic, partly, but that is not a marketing tactic. I do believe that I have cracked something, and I hope it's true. I really do hope it's true. I actually believe in it. Now, I wanted to say that I have the same epic amount of emotion that I had coming up with season 2 episode names that I had with the Whittingham Lover theory, the Schrodinger's Rodan theory, and the Witch with Memories theory. This tops all of that. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss a single episode of our Bayonetta 3 theories. Also, I have a fully functioning Discord, so please comment down below if you want to join. I'm Rakun, I'm restoring a knowledgeable universe, and bye for now. I figured it out.